Hey guys, it's Christie's. I figure I have to re-record this video and the next review because it didn't work and I couldn't upload it. So here goes, take two. If you can hear all of that downstairs, I'm sorry, but my neighbors are kind of having this party. They always have parties on like the oddest day of the weeks. Let's get started. So we're gonna get right into the story. Oh no, well first I have to tell you what we're reviewing, don't I? So this week I'm going to be doing a review to Dr. Stranger. So we're going to get right into the story of Dr. Stranger. The story is very focused on one specific character. Let's get right into it from the beginning. So there is this doctor in Seoul by the name of Park Chul. He is very respected, very well known. He's a very good surgeon. He's kind of getting ready to take his son off to school or some such. As they are kind of getting ready, this that would be my dog, Persephone, and she is going to fall in a minute, but she insists on getting up there. Sorry. What are you doing? Told you she was gonna fall. Right. So they're leaving, and as they're getting ready to leave, this man by the name of Jang Suk-ju, he comes out to their place and he's like telling the doctor Pak Chol that he needs to take a look at this VIP patient, and he shows him an echocardiogram. Chol is like, yes, you're right. He really does need all the help he can get. He really, is in dire, straits, and he really does need this surgery really soon. What happens is Sokju and his security detail, or like his bodyguard or something like that, Kim Tae-sul, kind of take him off. And at first he's going to leave his son Park-hoon there, in Seoul to go to school and to be taken care of and all that stuff. As they're kind of driving away, Chol kind of decides, no, he sees his son kind of in the rearview mirror. He's like, no, I can't leave him. So he takes him with him to go see this VIP patient. And as he is, in the car, he kind of realizes, or rather, they take him North Korea. Turns out that the VIP patient is actually the dictator up north. What happens is they basically tell Chol, if he operates on this client and the client dies, then they're gonna kill his son. And so he's got every, incentive to not mess around and to really do the surgery correctly. He does, he does the operation and it's very successful. And so they pack everybody back in the car and they're driving them back to Seoul. All of a sudden the car stops and everybody is kind of ushered out. Which everybody is Chol and his son Hoon. They take him to like this abandoned cart, to like this railway cart or something, some like abandoned little thing. And the guy's threatening him, Chol and his son Hoon, with a gun. And so he pulls it up in the air and he fires it. And he says, so now you're dead. So now you're gonna stay here. They're kind of kept there in North Korea against their will. Here in North Korea, Chol becomes this doctor. Not only does he work in this facility, but he also goes out to the rural areas where he can help the people who don't have any money, who can't get medical attention. And so his son, Hoon, also trains to be a doctor, and he's very successful. He also makes a very good name for himself at the school. And so in the school, he falls in love with this girl named Song Jae-hee. She's very sweet, and she's, very kind, and she kind of keeps him in check because he is kind of just a little bit too carefree, and he does kind of, joke around a lot, and it's not so safe in North Korea to be so carefree. Her dad is actually kind of an activist, but he's not very not an outright direct up forth activist, but he is an activist, and he kind of gets in trouble. And so because he kind of gets in trouble, they kind of take him and his daughter off to the work camps. So as they take her away, he is really determined to find her. So what he does is he becomes a doctor at this facility, and it's kind of like the state of the art medical facility there in North Korea, right? Once he's like a doctor full-fledged, and he's in this place, and he's made a name for himself in this place, people are paying attention to this facility. He's got these few foreigners who are coming over to check this place out. One day, these couple of people from the work camps come in, and they're supposed to do this experimental surgery on them. And that's really what this facility is. It's very much experimental. When he goes in to see these patients, he turns out that it's Jae-hee and her dad. Jae-hee's in really bad condition. Her kidneys are failing, and so she doesn't really have a lot of time to live. And her dad kind of tells Hoon, take my kidneys and just give them to her. You know, this means that he's gonna die, but at least he will live. Hoon kind of makes all of these arrangements. He arranges for the surgery, he arranges for the treatments afterwards, and he arranges to have her shipped out. He is going to leave with her, and they're going to leave this place behind. And so this is where my details of the drama get a little bit sketchy. I am not sure if they actually make it out of North Korea, but I'm guessing, or I want to say that they do. They kind of get found out, and so he's like riding around with her, trying to find sanctuary, and they go to the embassy. But it's closed, and so it's not, they can't get in, and so they're kind of driving around, and they get to this bridge, and I want to say that they're at the bridge, they kind of start shooting at them, and somehow some way she goes over the side of the bridge. He's holding on to her, but he gets shot and he can't hold on to her, and so she's telling him to let her go, and he's like, no. He does kind of end up letting her go. So she falls into the river. And so in the end, he stays in Seoul because he is a citizen of South Korea. And so he does kind of stay there, you know. He's in this really weird kind of place and predicament where he's not sure if she's alive or if she's dead. He's treating her like she is alive. So he starts working. And he's got this little like clinic that's like very nondescript, very kind of, you know, caters to common people, and very, how do I say it, like a very small clinic. He also helps this girl who has kind of befriended him in delivering water. She calls him Hyung all the time, and it's so wonderful. It's so cute. So he delivers, you know, water, those big kind of jugs of water, those gallons of water, and he's like helps her deliver them. And at one point he delivers them to this hospital, right? And so there's this emergency that's going on, and I cannot remember why, but there's no doctors who are kind of, you know, there at the scene of this operating room where this emergency is happening. So he takes it upon himself to go into the emergency room, into the operating room more like, does the operation, and it comes out and it's a big success, and you know, everybody's like, oh my god. Some people are not sure how to take this. Some people are not even sure he's a doctor. When they find out that he is, though, because the surgery was kind of tricky and was actually successful, they offer him a job at this hospital. So he becomes a doctor at this particular hospital, and I can't remember the name of the hospital. There is this doctor, this surgeon, who is like not resident surgeon, because a resident is somebody who's, you know, doing their hours there to kind of become a doctor. This person is a doctor. There's this doctor who is like the surgeon of the department, and his name is Han Jae-jun. Hoon and him kind of become rivals, not only in the workplace but also in love, because Jae-jun's girlfriend, Oh Soo-hyun, is kind of like, at first when she first meets Hoon, she doesn't really like him. She's actually kind of, you know, annoyed with him, and she doesn't think he takes his job very seriously. And she doesn't think that he's, you know, a very practical person. But however, when she finds out that he's actually kind of a genius, he's actually a very good surgeon, very talented, and that he actually cares about people, she kind of finds herself starting to fall for his little charm. The big thing is, though, is that Jae-jun kind of knows that it's more of an infatuation. He knows that it's kind of a passing emotion, and that eventually she will come around and just, you know, start, you know, really falling in love with him again. The only thing is that, like, at first, you know, he is not very jealous of it. He doesn't really like, I'm lying. He gets jealous, but he's not very affronted by it. You know, he's taking it in stride, like whatever. When she starts kind of paying more attention to Hoon, he does kind of start getting just a little bit like jealous and a little bit worried. But really what he's more focused on is kind of making a name for himself in this hospital. And there's a reason for it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to watch the drama to find out. So one day, you know, as he's walking the hospital, I want to say he's walking through the departments, he sees a doctor who has a very striking, surprising resemblance to Jae-hee, and her name is Han Seung-hee. He kind of makes it his point to kind of get closer to her and learn everything about her. This drama really kind of sort of took off and went into this other direction. I'm not really sure. When I first started watching it, I wasn't really sure where this thing was going to go. I wasn't sure how this drama was going to play out. I wasn't sure if he was going to end up with Soo-hyun. I wasn't sure if, because it kind of started leaning towards the fact that maybe he was going to start, not necessarily forgetting, but like coming to terms with the fact that Jae-hee is dead, and he was going to start dating Soo-hyun. I got really, really worried for Jae-jun, just because I wasn't sure if he was going to end up being the second lead and he wasn't going to get the girl or what. And then I wasn't really sure if Jae-hee was actually dead, or if this new doctor was Jae-hee, or just somebody who happened to look like her. I wasn't sure like where this drama was going. The kind of twists and turns that kind of really started making this drama different and surprising, because some of them I didn't see coming. Some of them are a little bit predictable. This is the first time that I've ever seen Park Hae-jin in anything. I hadn't really seen him in anything else. I hadn't seen any of his dramas until quite recently, actually. I'm really, really impressed with him. He sells his character very, very well, and I'm very, very excited to kind of see what else, what else he offers. It's a very good first impression that I have of him. This is the second time that I've seen Kang So-ra in anything. The first time that I saw her was in Dream High 2, playing opposite of JB from GOT7. I really, really liked her in this one. She kind of plays somebody with a more confidence in this one. It was a little bit difficult to it was a little bit difficult for me at first seeing someone who was so timid and so afraid and so clumsy and so non street smart, I guess, or not like, she was smart, but she wasn't like very intelligent, as Hyesung in Dream High 2. But now, once she kind of started getting like more into the drama, and you started seeing her like use the terminology and really, really kind of selling the doctor role, she was really, really good, and I really loved her in this one. I liked that she wasn't really, how can I put it, like, she was very confident and she was very good, but at the same time she wasn't very kind of overbearing, and she wasn't too confident. She still had a little bit of a shy thing going. Yes, this was also the first time that I have ever seen Lee Jin-suk in anything. I really enjoyed his performance too. He's actually also very believable, and he was very charismatic, and I really fell in love with his character. I just really kind of wanted him to kind of succeed at everything he was trying to do, and find what he was kind of looking for. And that's the thing, is that this drama was kind of really, really kind of focused on Hoon finding the person that he loves and staying with them. He was very determined, and he was very convincing, and I loved it. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Next time I will be doing a review to Cheese in a Trap, which is actually a drama that I saw after this one. I think it was maybe a week after this one. And so this was a drama that features, or that stars, one of the other stars in Doctor Stranger, whom it'll actually be the second time I've seen him in Cheese and Trap. And then after that, I'll be doing a review to Two Worlds, which also features a actor from this drama, whom this would also be my second time watching him. After that, I will be doing a review to Scarlet Heart. And those last two were actually reviews that were actually requested. I got a request for another one, but I actually have to watch the review before, or I have to actually watch the show before I can do a review on it. So I'm working on that. If you guys have any requests, let me know down in the comments below. If you would like for me to see something for you, if you want another opinion about it before you watch it, you let me know and I'll watch it for you, and I'll tell you what is up with it. If you want to watch these dramas and you don't know where, I watch Hulu on my computer. I watch Hulu Plus on my Xbox, on my phone. I also watch drama.net. The only problem with drama.net is that each episode comes in about 4 parts, and you have to click play after each part in order to start it up again. It's a little tedious, but it is good quality TV. It is commercial free, and it is good streaming. The only other problem is that sometimes the ads on the sides of the screen of the window are actually a little bit racy sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. I also use Drama Fever. Right now, it's what I use the most, because Drama Fever, I'm actually a premium member, and there are no commercials, and it is so wonderful, and everything comes in one part. But some of the dramas are not on there, which is why I use drama.net. If you would like, come on, yes. All right, I love you too. Stop right here. There you go. Smut and the dog Noodles. You can't even see his face right now. He's got eyes, I promise. I will see you guys later. I think my dogs are hungry. That's why he's up here. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.